Oh, I know. Let's go on an evening stroll. Okay, got my walking hat on, got my coat on because it looks like it might rain. But let's go for an evening stroll. Come on. I suppose I have to bring this with me. Okay. Seems nice. I thought it'd be nice just to go for a walk like this, without the rest of the family, just me and you, sort of intimate, an intimate chat as I walk next to a really busy, loud main road. And we'll just see what happens. This is a park quite near my house. It's not bad. It's almost like a bit of waste ground on this side of the park. Come here a bit with Leo and play football and stuff. But since lockdown, I've heard all sorts of rumours about stuff going on in this park. We came here about 3 weeks ago, and just behind me, over my shoulder there, was a burnt-out car. Just someone had driven it in. I don't even know how they would have driven it in. Very unusual. I know people probably think in London that people are continually burning out cars in parks in London, but that's actually quite unusual. And I don't know how or why that happened, but I have heard rumours that there are big beer keg parties going on here since the lockdown started, with big groups of people getting together and drinking tons of beer. I mean, it sounds fantastic. There's no sign tonight. There's some people with a picnic table. I don't know where the picnic table came from. That's been brought in by someone. It was just in the middle of the field one day when we came here a couple of weeks ago. Just a picnic table in the middle of the field. It's now been moved to the end of the field there, which is weird. And there's some kids over there with their bikes. A family playing cricket. So no sign of any beer parties, sadly. Currently just walking towards another park. I mean, the great thing about an evening stroll is you can pretty much do whatever you like. But I haven't really got anything else to say at the moment. So I'll probably put a montage of stuff here to sort of represent the passing of time. If you saw that, but that was someone with a giant puppet down by the brook. I might have been doing some filming or something for some weird show. I don't know what kind of people go out on a Sunday evening, filming things. But yeah, I've got a theory about evening strolls, and my theory is that if you go out on an evening stroll, you'll see one weird, unexpected thing every time. I think that was ours, seeing that little tableau of person with their puppet. That was a jackdaw under that bench. Just thinking about who I've seen so far on my our evening stroll. I've seen plenty of joggers. I've seen one or two people out just for an evening stroll, looks like. People going home from having picnics in the park. I just saw two women who'd absconded from some kind of hen party. They both had pink sashes on. I'll tell you what I saw earlier this morning. I saw a man out jogging while carrying a stool. I think that's a new thing for joggers. carrying bits of furniture around makes jogging just a little bit more difficult. It's quite easy jogging. Yeah, bit of moorhen action for you there. So I just heard some weird noises, and sort of chanting and stuff going on, and of course it is the summer solstice tonight. And I wondered for a minute whether it might be druids. I remember when I was growing up, we were really scared of druids. Whenever we went camping with the scouts and stuff like that, the cubs, people talked about druids a lot, especially if we were out around the summer solstice. So I was quite excited, thought there might be druids. But as you can see here, it looks like it's just an extension of that hen party that I mentioned earlier. There's some balloons there, and someone wearing a veil, and then a man in robes with a blonde wig. I don't know what's going on, and frankly, I don't want to know. Have you read Frank Skinner's first memoir? I guess it was published about 15 or 20 years ago now. It's a purple one with, he's got a couple of bulldogs on the front cover. Really recommend it. There's a bit in that which I often think about, and I've been thinking about it a lot since lockdown, actually. It's come back into my head, and it's about when he was a child, and he used to do this weird thing where they used to have a toilet in his back garden. They didn't have an inside one where he grew up, and he used to do this thing where he would go out at night into the toilet place and just scream as loud as he possibly could. I don't think it was a conscious thing that he decided to do. I think it was just a thing that he did as a child, maybe out of frustration, I don't know, or maybe just out of just the raw energy that you have as a kid. And he had so much of it kind of balled up in his body that was his way of just getting it out. I mean, literally screaming it out. And there's been times during lockdown, I'm sure you may have felt the same, where I felt a bit like that. We've been indoors, been raining for a few days in a row, and you've been indoors and you're cooped up and it's working and not a lot of personal space. And I felt a bit like that, and I just wanted to just shout as loud as I could, just like scream, not scream at anyone, not out of anger, but just a kind of a way to get rid of that sort of energy that normally would be used up in day-to-day life. I was wondering whether I dare walk into this park and scream as loud as I can in the middle of the park, just as an experiment, see what it's like, see what it feels like. So I'm going to try that. Okay, still quite a lot of people in the park. I'm going to try this primal scream thing. I mean, it's what intimate evening strolls are all about, isn't it? Okay, here we go. I felt like I didn't put my all into it, I'll admit. Hang on. I can't go any louder. That was not bad. Okay, that's enough screaming. Well, coming to the end of our intimate evening stroll now. I hope you found it to be intimate as advertised. I've certainly enjoyed having your company. I think you've got to know me a little bit better over the last few minutes. We've seen some odd things together, haven't we? Puppets in brooks, more hens, jackdaws. It's been lovely. The wonders of the evening stroll on the summer solstice of all days. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye.